Videos about the good girls and the golden child and what happens to these good girls and good boys later on in adulthood and how does this impact their relationship, different kinds of relationship, whether it's work or parent-child or in friendships or in romantic relationships or marriage. So who are these good girls and golden children? The ones who the parents called as very obedient, absolutely easy to raise, no issues at all. It was peaceful parenting for the adult, and most often the neighbors' parents will say, "Oh, look at this child, look," and will tell the other children to model them, or you will be the good person in the family when there are functions. You've got it right, and everybody says, "Oh, look at that child," and you've been praised, appreciated, rewarded for being this good, perfect child who's most obedient and always doing things for others. But this comes at a cost. And what is the cost for both boys and girls? This comes at a cost of not really knowing who they are. What are their thoughts and what are their feelings and what do I want or what is my authentic self? Who am I if I'm not in a relationship? They might not know. Or who am I if my worth is not attached to something that I do for the others? And this can impact both men and women differently thanks to patriarchy and general societal expectations around. So this question was specifically asked by, I'm presuming, a woman. I could only see the ID, it came as a comment, so thank you for asking. But usually when I speak something specifically from the woman's perspective, there is always a question, what about men? So which is why I'm trying to include both perspectives and what happens, because it is equally bad for both, just that its effect, the impact is different. And it's important to understand that yes, it is different. So let us explore what will happen to this, what could happen to this good girls and boys in work situation. What can happen with many women in such work equations is that they take on more. They're not able to say no, so they try to take on more and extend themselves, maybe working overtime, not able to say no, I need to go home, or this is too much for me, and they are rewarded, so they take on more and more. They could be really good at work or might not be really excelling in work, but the point is that they are really overstretching themselves because they are not able to say no. So if somebody needs a help, they not jump and go help them as well. And they need to be really perfect in their work, organize everything and get it all sorted at work and being the good employee or employer or whatever their role is in their workplace. Now what happens to the men? The men in general are rewarded for achievements. You know how they get the promotion or they get the bigger car or the bigger house and successful in career and being the provider. So what happens is they are more and more focused, or they could be even be workaholics, and achievement and success is what is rewarded because they have the money. And these are the things which most often the boys are recognized for being good, isn't it? So they could do the same thing in work. And yes, from the outside, it can look as extremely successful people. But the flip side could be there could be a lot of control as well. You know, that is what gets rewarded. And vulnerability, oh, I can't do something, or I'm not able to do this, or I need help, that might never be seen as something good for a man to ask in a workplace. So they just go on and go getters, you know, and that is rewarded. But for women, it is mostly the nurturing, they're cooperating, they're not messing with the peace in the workplace, so that is rewarded. But for both of them are not vulnerable in the sense they are not really sitting with who they truly are. So this could happen and both could lead to burnout, where for the women then the work goes unrecognized or unappreciated because they're just trying to keep the peace, and for the men they're craving more and more recognition. Now bring it to the marriage or any other romantic relationship, what could happen? For the women, again, overcommitting, not putting what do I need, what are my preferences, does not come in the relationship. And after a point, this can lead to frustration and maybe even anger responses in the relationship. And what happens to the men, the golden children? They don't even know how to manage the vulnerability of the woman. So they do not know what to do when the woman is crying or when they are anxious or angry. They completely shut down and they avoid the emotions, not only theirs, but also their partners. So the trouble is there is a huge emotional disconnect could happen in relationships because the man does not know how to be vulnerable at all, because that is not what is rewarded, because they were always the good child who didn't have any show of emotions, so they do not know what to do. Or the flip side could be because anger and go getting and control was appreciated, and getting all this together and being the provider. So the men would think that, see, I'm providing you with this, I'm buying you that, I'm gifting you this, and that's it. But when it comes to emotional connect, they might just not know how to do that. That could affect relationships as well. When it comes to friendship, what happens to the good girls in friendship? Again, overcommitting, not able to say no. Some friend calls and says, hey, can I come over? They'll say yes. They might say, how can I not be there for the friend? I have to be the good friend again. So again, trying to be there for everybody, and then they need somebody, and then when their friend says no, I can't make it, they feel that, oh my god, nobody likes me. They can feel abandonment, rejection, because they are overcommitting and they don't recognize that. So when somebody else draws a boundary, that feels like rejection and abandonment. This could happen in friendship. Now what happens to the men? They are usually celebrated for their achievements and throwing parties and, having these meets. And so they will have to maintain that I've got everything together, and vulnerability is not there. So they might have not have friendships where they can say what is going difficult, or whether they are feeling tired or they're feeling exhausted. Those might not be the friendships, and they might not even have very close friendships, but it could be very superficial ones, which is mostly activity related and not really towards conversations or talking about what's going on in their life, and certainly very unlikely about emotions. Now, so that's work, friendship, relationship, and what happens when they become parents? What happens to the good girl when they become mothers? Of course, they want to be the most perfect mothers, the perfect career. So they need to balance everything, and there is 100% in everything. So they want to also raise perfect children who are very obedient, who are very disciplined, who follow routine, who are very good with elders, respectful. So they try to emulate all of that was rewarded to them into their children also. Because if their children are not behaving well, which means I am the bad mother, so I have to, my worth gets then tied to the parenting role. But at the same time, I cannot go compromise on my work as well, because I am rewarded because I can handle everything perfectly. I'm this good person, isn't it? A good woman. So we celebrate the tag of being the superwoman, managing that and this, so taking, so everything is managed. So whether it is household responsibilities, whether it's career, whether it's children, everything is, this is how it's supposed to be. So what happens? The children can experience an emotional disconnect with the mother, wherein when they are unhappy or when they are sad, the mother does not know how they will take responsibility of their child's emotion and might try to protect the children from their emotion, thereby making them not so emotionally resilient as children. Now imagine the golden child, the men becoming fathers. What do? They're all driven to achievement and doing things. So might be spending all the money on their children because their role is being the provider. So they provide everything to the children. They can buy everything. They can, so the children also can tend to ask, can I buy that? Can I buy this? And that's what gives the man the feeling that, okay, I'm being a good father, I'm being the provider. So what happens again, connecting emotionally might be difficult. So it could be enrolling children in so many different activities, whether it's excelling in sports or games and instrument or anything else. So the child's life could be packed again, driven to achievement, because that is what was rewarded for me. So that's what I will be seen as a good father when I am giving all this to my children, giving the opportunities. But then, do the children really want it? Are there really conversations about it? Might not happen. And even again, if a child is crying and if the child is anxious, it'll be like, no, come on, buck up, you have to do it. So it could be all towards coercion and controlling and not knowing how to address the child's emotion and dismissing it, saying that no, you have to, be strong, means not experience any emotion or not even express them, because you have to achieve, you have to go get it, and that's how you become successful. So that could be the message the men give, and the women can be all protective. Oh my God, are you sad? So don't worry, I will do it for you, because they are all about uh, giving and nurturing. So overall, with mixing patriarchy with this and what the society expects from generally men and women, women are expected to be the cooperating people, getting everybody together, nurturing, loving, and giving, while the men are expected to be the providers, the go-getters, and bringing the money home. So when these two combinations come, it can be pretty much uh, disastrous when it comes to raising children. Unless, of course, if, like all of us, if we can be aware, it all starts with awareness. What is happening to me? So, how do we break free from these patterns? Is being aware that, yes, am I overcommitting to the women? Are you doing too much? Are you taking care of the house, the children, the first child, the second child, the work? Are you trying to be 100% perfect everywhere? Or are you even able to say no? Do you know what do you want? Or is it all about what the other people want? And finally, you wanting others to guess what you want, because you're not asking, and you expect that your partner should figure out that, okay, you want this because you have given that, and not really asking for what you need, and hence not getting it even, and then feeling frustrated and abandoned, rejected, and so on. Is that happening to us in relationship? If so, let us be aware, dear woman, that sometimes we really have to ask, and it's really okay to ask for what we want, and it's really okay that we need help also, and maybe sometimes we just need rest and we don't want to do certain things, and that's perfectly fine. So the awareness, whether it is work, saying no when there is too much work coming in, when you need to get back home. With children also saying no, that mama is tired, no, this is not what I have the energy for now. And it's okay for your children to be sad, but understand their sadness and allow and accept that they can be sad. But we are not responsible to go release, prevent the sadness in our children, and we do not become bad mothers that way. And even in partnership, we can say no to our partner even if they are not going to be too happy with us saying no to anything. And it's okay. We don't have to always look at keeping the peace, but at the same time, we don't have to fight and scream also to be heard and seen and understood. So how do we get to a midway of voicing what we want in a peaceful manner, but certainly voicing it and not expecting the other person to guess and understand? And similarly for men, it's okay to slow down, not to be providers and protectors all the time. It is okay to fail, and making mistakes are perfectly fine. Same way, allow in a parenting relationship, allow children to make mistakes, and we don't have to save them if they do not be shamed and blamed for making a mistake. And that's how we learn. So if there is so much of shame and blame in learning, learning never becomes fun. So yes, they might take 2 steps forward and they might come back, and that's not all reflective of who you are as a father. So many fathers who are not able to connect with their child's emotion is because they're not even connected with their own emotion. So how do this golden girl and this golden child, the men and the women, learn in adult life? All of us need to unlearn whatever patterns we have learned in childhood, because in childhood it was necessary. It helped us survive, but maybe it is not necessary when we are adults. So how can we slow down, be aware, and unlearn these patterns where women can learn to become assertive, not necessarily aggressive, but assertive, and say, I'm asking for what we need, and knowing that we can say no. And yes, that can disappoint people. And it's okay that if people are disappointed with you, we can't please everybody. That's what the women will learn. What the men will learn is that no, you don't have to do it all. You can say no, and you can need help, and you can be vulnerable, And if somebody else is expressing an emotion to you, whether it's your partner or your children, you can just be there and listen. You don't have to again jump and protect and provide a solution for it. Just listening there and being there is fine. And if both men and women can be absolutely conscious about these patterns which are coming up from our childhood, I think we can have certainly way more fulfilling lives as adults, whether it's in our workplace or whether it's in our friendship, our relationships, or with our children. So I hope all of us, every single one of us, whether we were called good or difficult, we can unlearn whatever we learned in childhood if it is not serving us as adults, and may we all heal and may we all grow and take no shame and blame for learning and growing. And when we know more, we learn and we change, and that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much for watching.